Hello, this is Bill with Sportsland RVs. I'm going to be doing a walk around on the Winnebago 2306BH. This is one of the Micro Minnie Winnebagos. And what that basically means is only 7 feet wide, not 8 feet wide. So a real benefit to that is if you're towing it behind a full-size pickup truck or even like a Toyota Tacoma or mid-size truck, you don't need the big wide mirrors going out the side to see down the side of the trailer. It pretty much just tucks right in behind your vehicle, makes it easier to tow and a lot easier and safer to travel with, so you can see what's going on around you versus the 8-foot wide trailers, which are pretty much the standard in the industry. So we're going to walk around the outside first, then we'll head inside, and I'm going to just try to point out some of the more unique things about a Winnebago Micro Minnie. I'm not going to hit on the things that are just like other trailers, try to keep it more interesting for you. First off, we've got what they call their Explorer package, which is the lifted suspension, 15-inch rims, and big like kind of mud type tires. All right, so what you get with that is a bigger overall diameter of the tire from the top to the bottom, because you got 15-inch wheels and then bigger kind of beefier tires. So when they are rolling at a slower revolution than a smaller 14-inch rim and then a smaller trailer tire. Smaller rim, smaller tire equals more heat on the rubber, because it's flexing faster as it goes around and more chance of that tire blowing up on you. These tires pretty much not going to have that problem. I mean, it's a really, really solid setup there. The tire's going to be running much cooler. Also with the torsion axles on this, they're not leaf spring, they're torsion. When you have torsion axles, you don't have all the leaf springs and all that hardware to rust up and just get nasty over time. It's all an inner system with a torsion spring. It's basically a square rubber piece that goes inside the axle, and as that flexes against a square inside of the axle, that's what gives you your suspension. And what it does then is it gives you suspension in each direction as the trailer is going up or down, where leaf springs are just kind of bouncing the trailer all over the place. So not really that important right off the bat, because you're not inside the trailer while it's doing this, but as your trailer's going down the road with all your plates, glass, things like that, it's a much smoother ride inside the trailer, therefore stuff doesn't break as much inside. Winnebago is notorious for overkill the way they build their trailers. One good example of that is these are 3,500 pound axles. Okay, so they're rated to hold 3,500 pounds each axle. So the gross vehicle weight rating is 3,500 times 2, 7,000 pounds. Okay, what's great about that is this trailer, we'll look at the dry weight in a second inside, but roughly speaking, you could almost put another one of these trailers on top of this suspension setup, and you are just maxing out the axles and tires. All right, so it's got huge spare cargo capacity to it, almost the entire weight of this trailer. If you were out camping and you got 2 flat tires, you can make it out of there on 1 axle and 2 tires, because 1 axle and the tires is rated at 3,500 pounds. So the trailer is not that much heavier than that. Anyway, so really good setup there. You've got aluminum steps here. They're nice and light and they don't rust, okay? So they're gonna stay looking good like that. You don't have to paint them with black spray paint over the years. It's gonna stay looking good. This door here, you've got the screen door, which is nice. And one thing I like about this is when this comes across, this is pretty much how you camp, with the door open. You got your screen door here. You don't have to slide this across to get to the latch. It stays across and you just open that from either side without letting any bugs in, okay? So that's a really nice feature there. The pass-through storage here, Winnebago has the magnets here, so it holds that in place, and you've got 2 magnets. So that door, when it's up, the wind's not going to blow that loose. It's on there pretty good. 2 slam latch baggage latches here, and just try to listen to how solid this is when it closes, you know? And then there's no little latches to do and all that. Winnebago probably could have gotten away with just putting one of these latches right in the center, but it's Winnebago, so they did 2 of these so that you're nice and secure at either end of the door. And you can see the thickness of this door. It's not one of those thin little doors like a wafer that you can just bend all over the place. Very, very solid door, okay? Inside storage here, you've got a light, and this model does have the Murphy bed. So the Murphy bed's taking up a little bit of your storage up here when that couch folds down flat. But you still have some great storage in there. Moving around, you've got LED marker lights, which is really nice. This front cap, this is kind of on the newer Winnebagos. This is a molded fiberglass front cap. So you don't have just a skin of laminate fiberglass coming down the front, which can delaminate. This is really bulletproof. It's basically like a boat hull, just kind of in reverse, if you will. So it's totally waterproof. Nothing's getting through this. You got the diamond plate here, so when you're going down a dirt road and you're kicking up rocks, this is absorbing that abuse instead of fiberglass, okay? You do have, I should mention this a minute ago, but you have an enclosed heated underbelly on this, all right? So they're taking that underbelly area, which is below where you walk inside the trailer, and then at the bottom of the frame, that area is where they put the tanks on this. What they're doing is they're blowing hot air when the furnace is running into that area so that it keeps it warmer in there, and that gives you, extended season camping. Some like to call that 4-season rated. I think that's a little bit of a stretch on any trailer, but that's a whole nother discussion. This is done as well, if not better, than anything else out there with heating that underbelly, okay? You got a power front tongue jack on this. Makes it really handy when you're putting an equalizer hitch set up on this. You don't have to crank it up and down to get the bars to swing in. You just push a button until the bars come up and get to a point where you swing them on over. Room for 2 batteries up front. Coming around this side here, you have another one of these great baggage doors with the double latches on it, the magnets. You have a battery disconnect right here. The nice thing about that is when you leave the trailer for an extended amount of time, you just turn that to the off position, and now you don't have battery power going to anything. So it'll keep your batteries from draining down, from just sending power to the radio or something that's constantly taking power. So you turn that off, no power going to the trailer. The side on this is a high gloss, the nicest finish we have on any of our trailers here. This is a beautiful mirror-like finish on this, exclusive to Winnebago. This is the same process that they use on their motorhomes, okay? $500,000 motorhomes, they basically do the same sidewall finish. So coming around here, you have the Schwintek slide out on this setup. Great thing with that is you've got 4 points of contact bringing this slide in and out. 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the other side. So when it goes in or out, it's moving all at the same pace. You don't have the top falling out and then the bottom catching up. When it is all the way out, you've got 4 points pushing that slide out at each of the corners. So it's keeping it nice and tight at the top and the bottom. And then when it's in, same thing. Each of the 4 corners is pulling equally to get these gaskets to seal up nice and tight against the trailer. Okay, really nice setup there. Let's see, you got your power plug back here. Your camping, like campground water hookup, park cable, satellite hookup. On the back here, you got a ladder, so that's right off kind of telling you it's got a walk-on roof. So it's designed for you to go up on the roof, walk around if you want. This is pretty unique right here. This center part that's kind of the white color, that is your backup light. So when you put your vehicle in reverse, these light up, okay? So they really brighten up where you're actually backing up to. You won't see that on a lot of trailers. That's very unique right there. It's all LED, so nice and bright. And when you use your turn signals or your brakes, they come on instantly. There's not that lag time that you have with the older incandescent bulbs. So it costs more to do it this way, but that's how Winnebago's doing it. The roof, from back here, you can see it is an arched roof, not a flat roof. So when it rains or snows, all that moisture is trying to go off the sides of the trailer. And it'll hit these little rain gutter things you see on all the 4 corners. That gets the rainwater or the melting water to miss the trailer, not leave big black strips going down the side of your trailer. You got the outside shower here, full-size spare tire. The frame on this trailer. Okay, this isn't your typical Lippard frame that everybody else uses. This is a frame that is specifically made for Winnebago. Winnebago used to use Lippard frames, And bottom line is they weren't to Winnebago standards. They'd come off a 1/4 inch off this way or 1/4 inch off that way. And that wasn't good enough for Winnebago. So they scrapped that and they started doing their own frames. These frames have very few welds to them. They're held together with what's called huck bolts. Okay, again, this costs a lot more money to do it this way. It's easy just to have a machine weld up the frame and all that, but the huck bolts, essentially it's like it's a really hardcore rivet, if you will. It takes the whatever two pieces of material it's looking to put together and just really sucks it in tight, leaves no gap, there's no wiggle room at all in it, and it just is a far superior way to do this. Your semi-trailers, any of your big type equipment, they use a lot of huck bolts. It's the way to have a much more secure system. Welds, they flex, they rust, they crack, okay? Very few welds on this trailer. You got the huck bolt system. Very unique. You won't find that on other trailers out there. You've got the black tank flush. That's not terribly unique. Most trailers have that, but it does have that. Here's your fridge vents. Spot here if you want to put a TV outside. You got outlet, and then there's a backer location right here to attach TV. This trailer is 6-sided aluminum construction, okay? So your walls are framed with aluminum. Your roof is framed with aluminum. Your bottom floor is framed with aluminum, and your front and back walls, okay? That's unique. What that does is it's a much stronger way to build a trailer, and it keeps the weight down. These are 7-foot wide, lightweight trailer. You'll be hard pressed to find lighter dry weight trailers than a Winnebago that's actually on 2 axles, okay? You're gonna be able to hit this kind of weight category if you're on a single axle trailer. Very rare to find a double axle trailer with these weights. And we're gonna talk about the actual dry weight of this trailer when we go inside. Forget if I mentioned this, but you've got the quick connect gas line up here. So if you want to hook in a camp chef or something, you get the gas hose. It just hooks right into that, and then that draws gas off of the propane tanks up front, which there are 2 of. Okay, come on inside. So Winnebago, they have a 3-year warranty. Okay, we have literature here which goes over all the details of that, but it's basically a 1-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, and then specifically lays out warranties on other things with the trailer for another 2 to 3 years. And then there's even things that have warranties that go beyond that, like the roof's a 12-year TPO roof and things like that, but we can get you more information on that. Inside the trailer here, the dry weight is on the door here. This one comes in at a dry weight of 4,500 pounds, all right? And then the cargo capacity of this trailer is close to 2,500 pounds. And again, that's Winnebago overdoing it. You're going to be hard pressed to start to max out these axles and tires. So that's a good safety feature, and also just peace of mind. Your tires and axles aren't working nearly as hard as most of the competition when they go cheap on the axles, go to a 2,500 pound axle instead of the 3,500, and you're just maxing that out. I love to point out in the Winnebagos the extra time that they took to put these together. They didn't rush these down the assembly line. Things like this. I don't know if the camera will be able to pick this up, but there's caulking that runs all over the place in this trailer. You rarely ever see caulking in trailers where square pieces come together, because where square pieces come together, you really don't need to trim it off or caulk it. All right, they put caulking everywhere. That didn't cost them anything in materials, right? Just a little tube of caulk. The time it takes to do that is what's impressive. So where else in this trailer did they take the extra time to make a quality product? Well, all kinds of places that you don't see right now, but that's one that you see right there. The countertop. This is a seamless countertop, so you don't have any seams on the edges, and it's an undermount stainless steel sink. So you're making a sandwich here, you got crumbs all over the place, you wipe the crumbs into the sink, or you wipe them into your hand and put them in the sink. That's really nice. When you have a countertop that sits above the countertop, or a sink that sits above the countertop, you aren't wiping anything in the trailer. And then if you have a seam along the edge and you're trying to wipe crumbs, all the crumbs get stuck along the seam, it's a mess. This is something new. This is one of those magical charge your phone deals. I'm not really sure how that works, but it works. Some sort of magnet thing going on or something. But you can just rest your newer smartphones here and that'll just charge it right up there. Along that, you've got 2 USB chargers back here alongside the bed right there by the 110 outlet. The USB ports and this charging system here, that runs off your battery system. So you don't have to be plugged in to be charging your cell phones and things like that. I love that this trailer has no carpet in it, all right? Typically, when you have a slide out, that this part is right down at the floor, they're gonna basically trim that out with a piece of carpet. Otherwise, you're seeing kind of the mechanical part of the slide. No carpet here. This slide goes in and out. You don't have any carpet to deal with. That's awesome. The Murphy bed, let me show you how this works. Sorry, there's a lot to go over in this trailer. These Winnebagos are just awesome. You've got Murphy bed version, I call it 3.6. All right, there are some Murphy beds out there that are just awful. They've got the mattresses that kind of fold up in 3 sections, and you got to kind of stow that up there and put up a deal that you have to slide over the little catch pins to hold in place. This is so easy. Let me show you how you go. You got one safety latch here, which I do this with one hand, okay? Up it goes, that's it. Then the couch, you pull like that, you're done. Go back to the other setup, like that. You slide this down, done, okay? Great system. You have one mattress without seams in it for it to fold and all that. It's just a nice, normal mattress. So definitely 2 thumbs up on their whole Murphy bed setup. Going back this way, some other real unique things with a smaller trailer, right? You got a full-size 6 cubic foot fridge. Most trailers in this size range are going to have a fridge that's about this big from here down. And that's going to be a combination with your freezer and the fridge. So really nice that they went and gave you the full-size fridge and freezer. You also get the full-size stove and oven, not just 2 burners sitting on top of the countertop and then no oven. This has the oven and the 3-burner stove, and obviously this little flush-mounted, basically countertop extension, right? You got the microwave there. This is prepped for solar, and not with the cheap little solar plug that's on the outside of the trailer up front. This is actually plumbed or wired up on the roof to plug in a real solar panel, have it permanently mounted to the trailer. That's the preferred way to go. It's not that much more expensive than the portable solar panels, which you set up and you plug into those cheesy little plugs up in the corner of the trailers. And then when you leave for the day, right, you're going on your adventure or whatever, going to see the canyon or arches or whatever, you're not going to leave that solar panel sit out, because guess what? That's a $500 bill flapping in the breeze, right? I mean, everybody has their choice on that, but my trailer, I have it on the roof, and then it's just always charging the batteries. I don't have to worry about anybody stealing it. So that's just a reality. So this is pre-wired up on the roof for solar. Okay, coming back this way, the bathroom in this, again, trying to point out more unique things. This is actually a wood framed door, all right? Most trailers put a cheap little piece of plastic down here, and I'll tell you what that does. As soon as it gets hot out, the plastic expands, it bows out, and you can't shut the door. I've seen this hundreds of times in trailers. Very unique to actually have a wood framed door. It just closes much better, and just a better setup all around. There you get a beautiful glass shower door set up on this. Lots of room in there. Again, for a smaller trailer, that's pretty unique. And you have the sink and just a totally useful bathroom there. Nice cabinet there. So a lot of room there. That's awesome. Okay, a couple other things that I forgot to mention. On a smaller trailer like this, you have a ducted AC system, okay? Most smaller trailers like this are gonna have the AC unit up on the roof. You're gonna have a blue to red dial or something like that to control the temperature. When you have a ducted AC system, that is running off a thermostat. In this case, a digital thermostat. So you set it at the exact temperature you want. You leave for the day, going off on your little adventures. Maybe you left the dogs in the trailer. You come back, and if you set it at 68 degrees, it's gonna be 68 degrees in here. With the blue to red dial, you set it at full cold because you're concerned about your dogs or whatever, and you come back at the end of the day and it's like 40 degrees in here or something. There's icicles coming out of your dog's nose. So the digital thermostat that you can actually pick the temperature and set it at is critical. That also runs the furnace. All right, I think I'm about there Trying to just look around, think if I missed anything else. I think that's about it. Sure, I missed some things, but anyway, come on down to Sportsland and we will give you the full tour of one of these great Micro Minnie trailers. Again, my name's Bill, and hopefully we'll see you down here. Thank you.